Todas las semanas llegan a Europa y se desplazan por el continente miles de migrantes que buscan una vida mejor. Lamentablemente, algunos mueren o desaparecen en el camino. Otros pierden el contacto con sus seres queridos y en su país de origen, sus familias se preguntan si sus hermanos o hijos están vivos. El movimiento de la Cruz Roja y la Media Luna Roja tratan de contribuir al restablecimiento de estos contactos entre familiares. Cada año, varias sociedades nacionales de la Cruz Roja, el Comité Internacional de la Cruz Roja y la Federación Internacional de Sociedades de la Cruz Roja y la Media Luna Roja se reúnen para debatir la mejor respuesta a este problema humanitario.
On se retrouve avec des familles de personnes qui ont disparu, qui ne donnent plus de nouvelles. Plusieurs possibilités seront offertes. La personne peut être détenue et incapable de communiquer avec ses parents. La personne peut être morte, noyée. La personne peut être soignée inconsciente dans un hôpital. La personne peut aussi vouloir, et c'est un droit, disparaître et ne pas vouloir contacter sa famille. Il peut y avoir des multiples raisons qui font que ce lien familial est interrompu. Et nous, notre travail, c'est de tout mettre en œuvre pour rétablir ce lien, que ce soit en offrant des services téléphoniques dans les prisons, quand ils sont absents, comme c'était le cas de Malte, jusqu'en janvier 2014, à Malte, aucun service téléphonique n'était offert aux détenus. Ces personnes arrivaient à Malte et étaient détenues jusqu'à des périodes allant jusqu'à 2 ans. Pendant 2 ans, la famille n'entend plus parler d'eux. Beaucoup font même le deuil des personnes. Voilà, et ça c'est un service que le CICR, grâce à une excellente collaboration avec la Croix-Rouge maltaise qui visite 2 fois par semaine tous les centres de détention, c'est un service qu'on a réussi à mettre en place et qui fonctionne aujourd'hui.
Just in 2015, we had just received more or less 17,000 people. 17,000 people arriving through the Mediterranean. Most of them arrive in Sicily. Someone else is able to sail in the way up to Brindisi, the other part of Italy. The first question is, do you need anything? As soon as we are clear they are physically okay and mentally okay, we start now to take care of the emotional part of the migrants, which is, do you need to contact the family? Honestly, most of these people are already organized themselves. They have mobile, the technology now helps them a lot. The only one that doesn't have the chances, that it's important they know the service at disposal. As Red Cross, we think we may have the chance to talk with 85 and 90% of the people that's arriving on the Italian coast, especially in Sicily.
La escala de las actividades humanitarias de la Cruz Roja italiana ha crecido enormemente en paralelo con el número enorme de migrantes vulnerables que llegan al país, como sucede con otras sociedades nacionales de la Cruz Roja europeas en Grecia, España, Malta y Bulgaria. Dado que no están naturalmente preparadas para hacer frente a un desafío de esta magnitud, todo el movimiento de la Cruz Roja y la Media Luna Roja intenta ayudarlas. En 2015, la Federación Internacional asignó alrededor de 300.000 euros de su fondo de emergencia para socorro en casos de desastre, tanto a Grecia como a Italia. Y el pasado mayo, lanzó además un llamamiento de fondos por alrededor de 2,7 millones de euros para ayudar a la Cruz Roja italiana. El Comité Internacional de la Cruz Roja también colabora para ayudar a ciertas sociedades nacionales con sus programas de restablecimiento del contacto entre familiares, RCF.
En général, les derniers services RLF tracing qui avaient été offerts par ces sociétés nationales pour des phénomènes de telle ampleur, parce qu'on parle quand même d'un flux de migrants assez énorme, on parle de 272 000 pour l'Italie l'an dernier. En général, ça remonte à la Seconde Guerre mondiale, donc l'expertise avait été un petit peu perdue, alors que le CICR, du fait de sa présence dans les conflits mondiaux, et certains européens, on peut parler des Balkans bien sûr, nous on a conservé cette expertise, on sait répondre à des phénomènes de masse. Donc le CICR essaye de concentrer toute cette expertise, de la porter, de la mettre au service des sociétés nationales, des pays d'accueil, de destination ou de transit, quand elles sont débordées dans des situations extrêmes, comme celle qu'on vient de décrire en Italie. Ça a été aussi le cas en Grèce, à Athènes, en 2013, où le CICR a ouvert une antenne.
In October 2013, the ICRC opened in Athens an RFL antenna to support the tracing service of the Hellenic Red Cross with regards to the migration file. The ICRC RFL antenna has initiated the 3-minute phone calls on arrival points when there is mass events. For example, we had in Ierapetra in May the arrival of more than 500 people that not everyone had access to communication because they were retained by the police, and we provided phone calls with the volunteers and the team that visited the place from Athens. Statistics are not so important at this moment, because first you cannot assess, because people when first arrive, even if they are separated, they do not know they are separated. They think that the relative will follow soon, and it is important to have an RFL presence and the promotion of the service at that point, because people may come to you a little later. When people manage to move onward, you receive the tracing request saying that, in August 2014 we were in Lesbos and we were separated. And you can say, but we were in Lesbos, why didn't you come then? And they say, we thought that we will meet each other in Athens, but we didn't. So we have these cases.
For instance, if we have a tracing case in Afghanistan, I mean, it's crucial that we can cooperate with the International Committee of the Red Cross, but also with the Afghan Red Crescent Society, because we know that the Afghan Red Crescent Society is a national society actually carrying out the work in the field. So, I mean, we are so dependent on each other that we cannot carry out tracing work unless we can cooperate, and that has been so, of course, for many years. But it's really crucial, it's so important that we can work together. And for instance, this meeting that we have here now, which, I mean, the annual, let's say the annual RFL meeting, which is a good opportunity to meet other colleagues from other national societies. We can discuss all the different topics that can be, from high and low, from details to big scopes. One topic that we have been discussing here is tracing requests when the family is on the move somewhere in Europe. And that is very difficult cases for us because they might not be registered and they might, as I said, be on the move. So we have been discussing now, can we find better ways of improving the result when we search for these missing people.
The incident at Lampedusa showed the rest of the world that people dying through the bodies. And the family started to be aware there was people dead. They start to contact us. I want to know if my brother, my sister was on that boat. Of course, we had to replay because we know that if you don't have any bodies, you do have family looking for someone. And of course, even if this person unfortunately may be under the sea, the family had the right to know. This is, I think, the next big challenge for the Cross, especially RFL. I mean, it's dealing with the authority in terms of dead body management.
When you have a large number of bodies, it's all about the management of the data. When you compare the data that you have from a relative when that person was alive, and then you compare that data with the data that you obtain from a dead body. Then when you compare this data, you try to see who this body was, or you try to see this relative that the family is looking for could be perhaps one of these non-identified bodies. It's very difficult to go like from country to country, from morgue to morgue, especially because the most affected locations are very small, very rural areas that perhaps do not have the best forensic practices. So because the information needs to be centralized and needs to be available, my role is basically to provide technical advice and assist those who are part of the process or those who would need to interact in between each other to be able to effectively find a missing person or give a name to a non-identified body.